Ladies and gentlemen, it is your high guy, your fly guy, the truth from the booth, B.I. Double. And it pains me that we do not have a show today, but what we do have is our Season 2 awards as we begin the long march to Season 3. We have to pay tribute to everything that has happened. It has been a crazy season. The formation of the Fallen, the formation and dominance of both Fallen and Death Virginia for that matter, championships being claimed, new contenders rising through the ranks. It has been a great season as our World Heavyweight Champion joins us in the feed, and I am just here to pay tribute. That's all it is. No matches today, just the screen of your champions and my beautiful voice. So we are starting things off with our breakout star of the year, and in the eyes of everyone voting, there was no one else it could have been. It's Dave. He's on your screen now. Dave had an amazing season. Had great matches. Main event quality. Even a couple of main events. Pushed himself towards the top of the card. And not only that, pushed himself into the hearts of the HCW faithful. So I don't think there is a better choice for Breakout Star of the Year than Dave. Another one that was a no contest has to be our pay-per-view of the year. Even wrestlers included had some input on this one. And it's very easy to tell off the top of the bat that no one gave it a second shot. It was Uprising Japan. That show was quality from top to bottom, including the feel-good moment of Wizard finally reclaiming a world championship in his home country. It just felt good. And the Iceman joins us in the feed. He agrees. He was there. He felt the atmosphere. It's an amazing pay-per-view, top to bottom, everything. The crowd, the matches. It was an energy in that building that was not duplicated. Uprising Japan is 100% our pay-per-view of the year. Now we move on to the upset of the year. This one did have a little bit of controversy. There were two matches that were being kicked around towards the end, and we decided to go with this one. Our upset of the year was from the Beating the Odds pay-per-view, when Adam Robinson countered Showtime, rolled him up for the 1-2-3, becoming your new World Heavyweight Champion. That was something a lot of people didn't see coming. I know I didn't see it coming. Showtime basically looked at it as a warm-up match. Proved to be a downfall. He would eventually get that championship right back, cashing in that briefcase. But as it stands, the upset of the year, Adam Robinson rolling up Showtime and beating the odds. Which brings us to our next moment. And Chip Stackworth. Yeah, Showtime is definitely featured a lot. His name pops up about 4 times on this list. That's how you know that you had a hell of a season. Win, lose, or draw. You're involved in this much. It's kind of crazy. Which moves us on to our holy shit moment of the year. And this is the one, again, we kicked around a couple ideas, but there was only one that elicited that reaction. There were some other ones that were shocking. There were some other ones you might not have seen coming. But this was the one that literally made half of the audience scream, and it even got a holy shit chant. No one saw it coming. And it was that moment where Superstar joined the Fallen at Uprising Survival and defeated his longtime friend and tag team partner, Wizard. that was the moment that it almost changed things. It changed the end of this season. Just, man, it threw a wrench in everyone's plans. I don't think anybody saw it coming. And yeah, that was a legit holy shit moment. Which moves us on to something a little down the line from a holy shit, but just a good shocker. Although you could argue that this moment could have been your holy shit moment of the year as well. It's the way that Iceman dominated Victor Black at Smokeout. Victor Black, prior to this match, had lost 2 singles matches. One against Iceman, and then against Showtime in the Moto Combat tournament. And Victor Black was on the roll of rolls. He was beating everybody in dominant fashion. People couldn't last 10 minutes in a ring. And as Chip Stackworth says right there, Iceman, he owns Victor Black. He does. He is the only man on the roster with a winning pay-per-view record against Victor Black. He's the only man with a winning overall record against Victor Black, if you go back through their respective careers since they've been in the company at the same time. And I don't think a single person saw that coming. There's people who thought Iceman was going to win. But no one saw complete and utter domination the way Iceman took out Victor Black. And it was indeed shocking. From there, we move on to our tag team of the year. Now, this one was penciled in at one point as a completely different team. But as the second half of the season continued to roll on and the wins continued to rack up and the performances in those matches continued to get better and better, Chip Stackworth was actually the one to bring this one to the table. And we all agreed once we heard it. The Lady Killers, Dashing Dakota, Beautiful BJ, snagged our tag team of the year honors. And as I said, they weren't a lot of people's first guess, but once it was presented to us, you couldn't deny it. And the Lady Killers stepped it up this season, and we expect big things from them in Season 3. As we can announce, BJ did on Twitter, we are announcing it now, they have officially re-signed for Season 3. They are coming back for their shot at those titles. So please believe me, ladies, watch out. And speaking of ladies, we move on from the Lady Killers to our Women's Wrestler of the Year. These next 2 categories, there was literally no argument. There was a blank sheet of paper, and every single person in that room said Liz, and there's no way to deny it. Liz dominated that division the entire season. Liz walked out of Smokeout your women's champion. There is no way to say anybody else even came close. Liz, your Women's Wrestler of the Year, bringing it home in impressive fashion in front of her hometown fans in Pittsburgh at Smokeout. Which brings us on to our MVP of the season. Again, everybody had the same sheet of paper. Everybody filled in the same name, and they did it extremely quick. And if you argue it, you either didn't watch or you're wrong. It's Showtime. Showtime 100% dominated this season from top to bottom. Won the cash-in briefcase. 3-time champion. Had a great showing in Moto Combat. Defended that title multiple times. When he did lose it, it was via roll-up. And it was against the greatest of all time. I don't think you can argue with results like that. Especially coming out of Smokeout. Defeating Bake, who Chip Stackworth and I have both stated multiple times that Bake was a lot of people's choices in that match because he does not lose big matches. And there is no bigger match than the main event of Smokeout in your hometown. And Showtime was able to overcome those odds and walk out still your world heavyweight champion. There you go. Showtime proved it. Held the belt and the briefcase at the same time. First time in history that ever happened. Which brings us to our match of the year. And this one is what caused the controversy in the voting. A lot of people had a lot of good matches. There were some tag matches on there. There was some Super Junior matches this year. They're like, oh man, some of those Super Junior matches towards the end of the season when they realized it was coming to a close, Super Juniors killed it this season. I feel like I need to make that known regardless. The Super Juniors stepped up in a big, big way this season. And I think in part because of Showtime. Knowing that Showtime is a former 3-time Super Junior champion and then went on for all these accolades a year later proves that there is nothing holding them back. And I think they all wanted to be the next Showtime because they stepped it up in a big way. The women had match of the night countless nights. But what it came down to was this. Everyone was told to give a list of 3 matches. And while no one had a full list of the same matches, everyone had one match between Bake and Showtime from their trilogy earlier in this season. Everybody had one of those matches on their lists. And we could not determine which match we felt was best. So in another shocker here at your year-end awards, we are giving match of the year to 3 different matches. And those 3 matches are the trilogy of Bake and Showtime from earlier this season. They put on 3 perfect 10 matches back to back. And I don't think you can deny the greatness of those matches. There were good matches, there were great matches, but I don't think you can sit here with a straight face, and as Chip has named it, the trilogy. You can't sit here with a straight face and tell me that you saw any match that was better than the trilogy. So because of Chip naming it the trilogy, and because of everybody having at least one of those matches in their list, that is your match of the year for the first time ever. It is more than one match. What will affectionately go down in HCW history as the trilogy is your match of the year. Which brings your year-end awards to a close. But before we go, I have to thank, obviously, every hard-working member of our roster. I gotta thank Showtime for always being active in the feed, along with BJ, along with Iceman, along with the guys who ride up and down these roads and sit in on these meetings. You know who you are. You know we appreciate you. The fans of HCW, the reason we put on the shows that we do, we appreciate the hell out of you. And we are gonna bring it bigger and badder next season. As the champ goes off on vacation, everyone goes off to train, and we go off to come up with ideas on how we are going to keep this thing rolling better and better. I need you to just sit back, relax, reflect on this season. You have 3 months before we come back in January of 2018 to bring you the best damn pro wrestling in the digital world. So congratulations to all the winners. Congratulations to the amazing matches and making Season 2 better than Season 1. And a premature congratulations for everybody who's going to do the same thing next season. So that I can have this same speech a year from now about how Season 3 somehow was able to top Season 2. And with that being said, I have been your high guy. Yes, indeed, your fly guy. The truth from the booth. B.I. Double. Signing off until January. We love you. Keep it classy.